are we going to build today is this custom up bar. So when you scroll up it hides, and then we have filters which sticks to the top. So I've been playing around with slivers yesterday, and I noticed that the freaking up bar, so Flutter has two up bar implementations for material design and for Cupertino design, and both of them are quite different. If you build your own thing and you want to make this YouTube-like up bar, and when you scroll up, this up bar have to disappear completely and only something needs to stay on the top, that's the way to go. So let's start by creating just a simple project. So Flutter create custom up bar, and it's going to be empty. Let me stop the previous one. And oh freaking, this copilot become annoying. So let's just make sure it works, because sometimes it doesn't for some reason. So the way to implement this custom up bar. So first of all, we need to create a custom scroll widget or custom scroll view or something, custom scroll, whatever, and use slivers inside. And for slivers, we will need to implement our own sliver delegate something, but I will walk you through it. So disclaimer, I'm not the professional Flutter developer by any means. I'm just started to learn Flutter like a week or maybe a week and a half ago. Okay, so let's see. Okay, it works. So what are we going to build? So instead of material app, let's go with Cupertino app, because I do like colors better for Cupertino. So let's go Cupertino app. And here we need Cupertino page scaffold like this. Child center. Okay, it looks decent. Let's do background for Cupertino page scaffold as Cupertino colors, and it's going to be group system grouped background, so this little bit like grayish background like this. Okay, then let's implement our custom sliding thing. So first of all, we need to have a custom scroll view, and custom scroll view accepts slivers, and these slivers are responsible to respond to scroll navigation. So first of all, let's create some content to see what is going on there. So let's create the widgets, and let's create, because we build in something the YouTube like, so let's create the videos list. So videos list is going to be simple sliver list, and delegate would be, let me check. So because I already built it yesterday, so I just need to follow my breadcrumbs what I did. So it's going to be sliver list, and for delegate we have sliver child builder delegate like this. So it accepts the builder function, as the first parameter, so context and index, and it accepts child count, so let's go with 50. And for this one, let's return container. Height would be 200, and color, let's go Cupertino colors, system gray, system gray. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, let's go here, import our list, and render here, and see how it looks like. And it looks like shit. Okay, it definitely doesn't work as expected. So let's see what is going on here. So first of all, I think it has no spacing in between. So let's wrap our container into padding and do padding symmetric. So let's give only vertical padding, 8 pixels. Yeah, so I was right. So our sliver, our page scaffold, then custom scroll view occupied the whole width. It has no any paddings, margins, all this type of shit. So when we build our list, it takes the whole space. So we need to wrap our sliver list into sliver. Maybe not here. It's better to do layout thing in the parent component. So we wrap our videos list. We wrap it with sliver padding, I think. So sliver padding, and it accepts sliver as a widget, and padding has to be edge insets all, and let's go 8. No, 8 is not enough. Let's go 16. Okay, so now we have our list. It scrolls. Let's make it a little bit more rounded. So here, let's do decoration, box decoration, move the color inside box decoration, and use border radius, circular 8 maybe. Yeah, so this one looks a little bit better. So we have our list and we don't have any up bar yet. As you can see, one of the problems with custom up bars, I found out, maybe I'm just dumb, but who knows, that you see this unsafe area. So we need our app bar to stick to the top and have the background color. Because if we use safe area in our main widget, like when we do custom scroll view, if you wrap it with safe area, we cannot change the background of this one anymore with our custom app bar. So it has to be unrestricted, so no safe area. It has to scroll all the way to the top. So, and if we use default Cupertino navigation bar and what was it? Tiling text. Let's check what it was. Trailing leading title. So it was the fuck? Bar, and where's the fucking text for it? So we have leading, previous, middle, trailing. I was sure it was Cupertino. No, I think it was Cupertino sliver navigation bar. That's right. So, and now we have a large title text and say videos. And we can see it over here. So, and when you scroll up, it sticks to the top and it never disappears. And also you have very little control over the behavior of this nav bar. It's much more complex. If we go to the details of this navigation bar, it's pretty complex thing. So we are not trying to reproduce it completely. We just do like special case here. So okay, as we can see, this shit doesn't work for us. So what we have to do, we have to use custom slivers. So let's start with the custom app bar. App bar dart. And it's going to be stateless widget, custom app bar. And how this custom slivers works, we need to use custom persistent header. Or what was it? It was not the custom, it was sliver persistent header. Sliver persistent header, and it accepts the delegate. So we need to create component which will be our app bar and as well as delegate. So let's create a delegate, custom app bar delegate. We need to extend sliver persistent header delegate like this. It requires us to implement for abstract overrides like this, and now we can use it as a delegate over here. So this delegate is rather simple thing, so it just asks you to provide max size, min size when you scroll, and just a function to figure it out, do it needs to be rendered or not. I didn't go deep into details. From what I figured out, this one is a little bit tricky. For now, we can just get away with just returning false. So let's go with max extent 50 and min extent also 50 and see what happens. And then build function is our regular build function. So let's just return container and see what happens. So let's do height 50 and color will be Cupertino colors, and let's go with red. Let's try to use our custom up bar. And as you can see, it sticks to the top, but when we scroll, it disappears. So the trick is when we use sliver persistent header, we need to provide, we can provide floating flag. So if it's floating, it means if you scroll down, it goes all the way to the top. If it's false, it means it disappears and appears only when you scroll all the way to the top. Then we can have pinned. And pinned is more interesting one. It means when we scroll in, it's pinned to the place. And that's what we are looking for. Because in our case, we need to be extended, and then when we scroll, we need this part still to be pinned, but remove the middle part. I'm not sure, am I doing this correctly or not? Let's change it to floating true and pin true. But let's see what I have in my notes. Yeah, so let's make sure. So we have our delegate. It's just a simple container, but in our case, we need to provide the custom up bar as content of our up bar as a child, and then we need to render it over here. So let's do widget final widget child. It's going to be required this child, and then we will pass this child into our custom delegate. So let's create a constructor for this one. Required this child like this, and inside our container, let's just render it. So now we go into our main child and let's do text and say it's going to be App Store or YouTube. We are building YouTube. Okay, nothing looks like nothing happens. Let's just reload it. And let's see why. I think it's because our text, sorry, I have a typo, is hidden behind this stuff. Ah, no, it's because we never pass our child here. Boom, so now we have our YouTube over here, but in fact it has to be all the way over here when we scroll. So I've been trying to do some animations and shit, and I end up doing the simplest solution possible. What I did, I just create stack with two sections. One is the top section and bottom section just slides under. So in this case, it gives you illusion that it's animate during scrolling, but in fact it just slides under that top level part. So in our delegate, instead of rendering the container with child, we're going to render stack with two position widgets. Children positioned. So we're going to have two position widgets, both of them going to have a containers. So because the way how they structure, how they rendered the bottom, the last child will be the one which will cover the top. So we will need to provide top is going to be 0, left 0, right 0 to cover the whole width, and the height is tricky, and I will tell you why. Because I checked the implementation of Cupertino app bar and as well as material app bar, and both of them use different way to get the height of this container. So for now, let's just use one from the material K toolbar height, because as far as I remember, Cupertino uses, yeah, let's check. So if we go here and we go into Cupertino sliver navigation bar, if we go into inside and look for build method, no, it takes too much. Let's just scroll it down. So here we have our build method, and here is our sliver persistent header. That's what we're doing here. And what do? They pass persistent height as media query padding of context top. I don't know why. Probably different people develop different widgets for different navbars, but we will just steal it from Cupertino because I think it's more reliable, because in material it's just hard-coded value, so it's not cool. So let's go into our app bar over here. Our delegate will accept not only widget but also, what was the name of it? Persistent height. So it also will accept double persistent height. And we can calculate it from this context. So persistent height will be our media query padding of context. I don't know what it does, don't ask me. I just stole it from Cupertino implementation. So now we have our persistent height, and height of our top level container will be this persistent height thing. So just to indicate it, let's go with Cupertino colors and ask active orange. So you see it's over here. And we will need to use the same value for our min extent and max extent for now. So that's how it looks like. So now we need to render actual child, and this will be the first in the order but the last one for render. Just bear with me. So the cover have top 0, but the bottom part will be bottom 0, and left and right also will be 0 just to cover the full width. So this container will have a color, and let's go with red one just to indicate, in child is going to be our child we passed from the parent. So nothing so far because we need to provide a height, and I just use k-min interactive dimension because I just don't want to bother with figuring out the correct height. Probably if you would do it on yourself, you would already know that the height of your app bar based on designs, so it will be fixed for you anyway. So only this cover matters because it has the phone controls on the top, like toolbar or whatever name it is. But actual size of your navbar will be defined by your designer, so you will know this number. So our max extent will be persistent plus our content size. So now we have it over here. If you scroll up, you see it hides under the top part, and when we scroll down, it appears again. Okay, so now we just need to provide some decent, let's change colors to white. So let's go white here and go white here. Okay, looks good. Now let's do some minimal YouTube thing, like just name it somehow. Let's go with, I wonder why it's never starts typing. Main up, let's go main navigation. Main navigation, it's probably going to be a raw. Let me check how I did here. Yeah, so what I did in my notes, it's a padding 8, and then inside we have row with space in 4, and children will be icon, then title, and then more icons like this. So our title will be just simple text, YouTube. More icons will be just icons, and let's go with notifications, and maybe with I don't know, search. Let make sure it still looks like something. So import widgets, main navigation, and why this one complete? Ah, okay. So we need to remove this one, and our child will be our main navigation. Okay, so we have our YouTube. So we need to add spacer here to push to the right. Then text, let's style it a little bit. Something like this, and let's make little YouTube icon. So it's going to be YouTube icon like this, and this icon will be just a simple container with, I don't know, 36, hey, 24, color red because it's YouTube, destructive red. And let's add some border radius, circular, let's imagine it's going to be 8. So our icon is going to be our YouTube icon. Boom, so we have something similar to YouTube. You can already stop here, like if that's what you were looking for. So we already have our app bar, it slides to the top. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to do the filters bar, and this filters bar will be based on the segmented control we did before. So I will just copy paste it from there. But let's show how to do another one. So let's do sticky header component. Sticky header, and this sticky header will be just like a minimal implementation. I don't even know, do we need to do, because sticky header component is just a wrapper around persistent header. Yeah, but let's just do it. So class and sticky header delegate extends sliver persistent header delegate. Now we will quick fix, implement all this stuff. For sizes, let's go with min interactive dimension. Let's just use some constants. So if you want to know where these constants come from, it comes from Flutter, material constants, and they have like lots of defined constants they use in their theming, like the size of the header, size of the button, minimum paddings of the button. So you can just reuse them from time to time if that's something resembles, but most of the time you will use your own designs. So let's go here. What is going to render? It's going to render just a simple container with some background. So let's do container, and container has to have a height, and this height has to be like this, and color will be our let's go white. And child is going to be just a child we pass inside our delegate. So here we go to have final widget child constructor for this guy. So require this child like this. Then for our header we do the same, final widget child here. Require this child, we pass here we need to create our persistent header. So sliver persistent header. As a delegate we will use our custom delegate like this. As a child we pass the child of this widget. We say it's going to be pinned. Not delegate, sorry. Like this. And now I'm just copy paste my segmented control. If you want to know, it's on my channel so you can see how it's implemented. I will just paste it here. Just briefly go through. So segmented control is very simple component when it accepts list of children and selected index, and the handler every time when user taps on one of the items. Then when it renders, we render our children, wrap them into gesture detector, and render the sliding background. So that's basically it. Let's go into our main Dart. So we have sliver videos, and here we need to import our widget. What was it? Sticky header. And also we need to import our custom segmented control. So sliver pattern, so that's the list, and here we do sticky header, and as a child is going to be, let me check what I did for children. Yeah, I made a separate component. Let's just do the same shit. So we have stateful widget is going to be filters, and this filters is going to have let me see what I did. Yeah, so these filters over here, they just have a column like this. Yeah, now I see. So we need to wrap our segmented control into single child scroll view so you can scroll left and right. Scroll direction, axis horizontal, and child will be for now it's nothing, but we need to build items. So for child we need to have a widget build filter items like this, and over here we do build filter items. So let me just copy list of items I already have. Oops, sorry, the wrong one. So that's the items we're going to render. So what we do, we give them some styling. And child is going to be our segmented control we created before, and children, oh man, I created lots of stuff recently, so let me just try to go through it. So we have here, why it's not, the fucking hell, empty array here, 0 over here, and this one over here. Okay, so we have our thing. Now we need to go through items and render them. It complains. The children should be the list. Oh man. Like this. So now we can go through our items, map them. So we label comes in, and it's just a simple component with padding. Symmetric and horizontal 8, vertical 4. Why it's still in line? Man, this is annoying. Why it's not formatting? Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, and where is our pattern? Let's make sure that's this one. So child is going to be our filter. So like this. And here we have our pattern, and child is going to be text with our label, which looks like this. Almost good. And now we just need to handle the clicks. So in our state we will go with int selected index, going to be 0 initially. So we take this index, use it in our segmented control, and then index, and index will come from here. So now what we have, as you can see, we have our app bar and we have our filters, same like you have it on YouTube. So when you start scrolling, up bar disappears and this filters stick to the top. And seems like we're done for today. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.